is Asha Sampath and welcome to this new edition of Business Africa, your magazine dedicated to the continent's business and economic news. As usual, you can win $150 in our Business Africa game. More details later, but first, today's top stories. A rising sector in Togo, organic pineapple has carved out a place of choice in the country's agricultural development and has become one of the star products for European importers.
We're lucky in Togo to have varieties such as Sugarloaf and Cayenne, which are quite well known and which have a better taste than the MD2 varieties offered from Costa Rica.
African traditional medicine sector seeks its place as the threat of the COVID-19 pandemic still looms over the continent.
But I also go to the pharmacy to get some products, but I use natural plants because my parents got me used to them from birth.
Architects, urban planners or technicians, they are the future of Rwanda. Talents ready to take over for the modernization of the country.
It is going to produce the students the employees who are capable, who have the knowledge to go and contribute to the development of the country.
In West Africa, Togo has long been striving to promote agricultural development. The country is betting on the expansion of pineapple production, a sector which grew by more than 11% between 2017 and 2019, and which today employs more than 3,200 producers. The organic pineapple niche, particularly prized by European importers, is booming. In our story today, we'll focus on the rise of this cutting-edge horticultural sector, Togo, a pineapple story, through the lens of our reporters Parfait Assogba and Fernand Tona.
Spanish and Portuguese navigators brought the first pineapples back from South America in the 1540s. It's an exotic fruit now widely consumed around the world, with an exploding demand. According to the FAO, world pineapple production should jump from 25 million tons in 2021 to 37 million by 2030. A booming market that one might think is reserved for global pineapple giants, such as Costa Rica or Nigeria, Africa's leading producer, with 1.6 million tons. It was to join this big league that Togo decided in 2018 to make a name for itself by focusing on its major asset, the organic pineapple niche. And the project is already a real success with small producers, with around 16,000 tons of organic pineapples collected each year.
Previously, we had great financial difficulties, but now I can help my husband. From the education of our children to the expenses of our household, without forgetting the costs of health and other expenses that I have managed to share with my husband. We managed to save some money, and we were able to buy a plot of land on which we have already started to build thanks to the production of pineapples.
The promotion of pineapple cultivation was first launched in Togo in the 1970s, but then experienced a decline 20 years later. In 2013, the sector was relaunched thanks to German financial assistance. In the maritime region of Tsevier, 35 kilometers north of the capital Lomé, pineapple fields extend over hundreds of hectares. Mrs. Ayawa Dola has benefited from good agricultural practice training provided by the support project for the improvement of the competitiveness of the pineapple sector in Togo, also known as PROCAT. She is very proud of her organic pineapples.
Our pineapple is produced without chemical fertilizers. We do not use NPK. We plow the land, and it is with the dead grass and excrement as chemical fertilizers that we grow pineapples.
Initiated by the Togolese government with the technical and financial support of the European Union and German cooperation, the project is implemented by GIZ and aims to strengthen the entire pineapple sector. from production to export through processing for the 2018 to 2022 period. A budget of nearly 4 billion FCFA or 6 million euros. With ambitious objectives assigned to the project, such as the production of 3,900 tons of organic pineapple juice, 260 tons of dried pineapple, and the export of 2,800 tons of fresh pineapples, as well as the creation of more than 4,700 jobs. It all started with the implementation of a vast additional training program, as at the Daniel Field School in the west of the country. As for producers, the effects are already visible.
It was through the project that everything changed. And now, with the training, the FBS training, management and accounting, training in good agricultural practices, in internal control systems, we're now equipped to be modern producers compared to the traditional producers that we were in the past.
Production then had to be organized so farmers had a guarantee for the sale of their organic pineapples and processors a guarantee of having the necessary raw materials.
We found that producers were having difficulties selling their products, while at the same time, right next door, there were processors looking for products, and who can't find any. We felt it was important to organize all these producers into an umbrella organization called FENACOPA, a central purchasing body that brings together all these producers so that when they produce their pineapples, they collect them and sell it to processors.
In Assahoun, 50 kilometers from the capital, is one of the companies specialized in the export of organic pineapples. Here the fruits are sorted, cleaned, graded, weighed, and labeled before export. The sector is organized with 6 platforms that manage the purchasing centers. Their motto, stay united in the face of this tough market, where local competition is fierce.
Instead of letting the producers go in scattered rows, the Federation has taken it upon itself to do the organic certification of its producers. Thus, it is a real asset for them to go on the international market, especially since we have also done the training on traceability. From planting to consumption, we know step by step the circuit of the fruit.
Undoubtedly, Togo benefited from 2 major assets even before the launch of the project. 50% of its production was already organic, and the varieties grown in the country are highly appreciated by European consumers.
We're lucky in Togo to have varieties such as Sugarloaf and Cayenne, which are quite well known and which have a better taste than the MD2 varieties offered from Costa Rica.
Additionally, Procat contributed to strengthen the resilience of the sector in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, and also to increase production in this context. The tonnage of pineapples processed in certified units has increased from 2,100 tons in 2018 to more than 6,700 in 2021, thanks to the training of producers and the provision of modern equipment and secure means of transporting pineapples to factories. But for professionals, the encouraging results do not lessen the challenges that remain.
The importance of the plant sectors, including the pineapple sector, is that we need to ensure food security and also develop production to cover national needs and also supply agro-industry to substitute imports with regard to internal consumption and also develop exports.
That's the price for Togo to win its bet and find a place in the expanding organic pineapple market. With major financial benefits for the state budget, the creation of new businesses and thousands of jobs for young people and women in the country.
prices of aviation fuel, consequences of the international situation, are a source of growing concern in Nigeria. 23 national airlines have been reluctant to suspend operations, and they will hold negotiations with the government. They are indeed unable to absorb costs which have tripled in the past 4 months, as the price of a litre of aviation fuel has propelled to 700 naira or $1.68 per litre. The impact of the war between Russia and Ukraine has had negative consequences on the foreign exchange market. The Nairobi Stock Exchange, which has seen strong participation from foreign investors in recent years, is concerned about the depletion of the US dollar in the country. The situation, which makes imports and external debt service more expensive, could discourage international participants in the Nairobi financial market. In South Africa, positive COVID-19 tests again mark a clear progression, and experts are wondering if the country might not be on the verge of entering a fifth wave of infections. In Benin, where a large part of the population has chosen to treat themselves with plants, voices were raised demanding that the ancestral know-how of traditional medicine of the continent should not be neglected when it comes to research on medicinal products with international standards, including against COVID-19. This is a report by Didier Asogba. According to statistics, 70% of Beninese treat themselves with plants, herbal tea. This is the case of Marshall Hunwanu, a building electrician who, to treat a supposed undiagnosed malaria disease, preferred to go to Mama Weta, a seller of medicinal plants in Gorome, a city on the outskirts of Cotonou. I learned how to compose and sell herbal remedies with my aunt for 9 years. Every day I receive more than 150 clients.
I came to buy some plants to treat malaria and cough. I'm used to plants. This doesn't exclude the fact that I also go to the pharmacy to get some products, but I use natural plants because my parents got me used to them from birth. It is part of our daily life.
For many observers, Africa has the resources to offer an effective product in the treatment of COVID-19. This is due, for example, to the diversity of its natural environments, which range from deserts and steppes to highland meadows and bushes, including mangroves.
Speaking of COVID-19, people feel that it is not possible to find herbal remedies on the African continent. Yet it is the only continent that still has its 9 biomes. We still have a biodiversity in which it is possible to find plants capable of coping with a large number of diseases.
For the treatment of the coronavirus, the sellers of medicinal plants have offered their customers many solutions as a preventive measure. Against COVID-19, solutions exist here. Certainly, research to find the right combination is still ongoing. Among this research, there's the work of Dr. Raphael Chidime. This Beninese traditional therapist and phytotherapist is convinced that he has found the right formula to fight COVID-19 by treating a friend with the disease who is a student in Europe.
And the products that I put in the honey, I prepared on a fire at 100 degrees. I extracted the syrup from the ingredients that I mixed with the alcohol from the plants in my container. I made a 25-litre can of honey with my plant.
The solution to the COVID-19 pandemic could lie somewhere between the two medicines, conventional and traditional. One thing is certain, for herbalists and botanists on the continent, traditional African medicine, the oldest in the world, should not be overlooked.
The promotion of traditional medicine must therefore be accompanied by efforts at the level of conventional medicine, where we should take what is positive in each of these two medicines so that they can become complementary. And this calls for the notion of research and the notion of the validation of therapeutic formulas at the level of traditional medicine. Practitioners who are great holders of this knowledge and of this medicine, and who are closer to the populations.
A hope that had taken a big leap forward in September 2020, when a panel of experts appointed by the WHO, the World Health Organization, had approved a protocol for phase 3 clinical trials of herbal medicine for COVID-19. This is the first step to assess the quality, safety, and efficacy of traditional medicine products according to international standards. Welcome back to the second part of our show. Africans are looking for alternatives to wheat, which has become 40% more expensive due to the ongoing war in Europe. In Kenya, Egypt, but also in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria and Cameroon, producers are turning to local rice, cassava and sorghum to enhance bread and pastries. In Kinshasa, the government has approved the use of cassava for bread, and producers of potatoes highly in demand by the agri-food industry in Cameroon are increasing their production. Will Zimbabwe go back to the US dollar? The country, which had switched to the American dollar in 2009 before reintroducing its national currency in 2019, is seriously considering it. In any case, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has just imposed capital controls to stem the rapid deterioration of the country's currency, the Zimbabwean dollar, which has lost half of its value this year. We end our tour of the continent in Rwanda, a country often praised for its economic success. Education is a high priority for the government, which wants to see the talents of tomorrow emerge. How are these promising and studious youth educated? This is what Lorraine Raimondi discovered in Kigali.
In Rwanda last year, the Institute of Science and Technology of Rwanda, formerly the Kigali Institute of Science and Technology, granted diplomas to a special class. 18 out of 190 female scholarship students in a skills development project in science and technology received their diplomas, like Solange and Jennifer, who received scholarships to complete their master. Supported by AFDB, the African Development Bank, the Institute promotes women's access to the scientific and technical programs.
It is so important because if you can compare about the percentage of population in Rwanda, many are women. But if you go to higher learning institutions, colleges, there are few girls who join the higher learning institutions.
Her parents, of whom she is the pride and joy, own a hardware store on the outskirts of the capital. Aware of her luck, the young woman wants to participate in the construction of Rwanda.
The first motivation, I'd like to become among the great lady, a great woman.
For his part, Kenneth is working on the use of recycled materials in architecture. He's presenting his project to his teachers. His ambition is to speed up the construction of buildings in his country, which is struggling to find the necessary materials.
I see it as a challenge, if we are a developing country and we have little economy to afford these materials which can be used for fancy buildings, how in other way can an architect explore local and available materials and using little technology but offer the space which is having quality and functional and sustainable for the community.
Architects, urban planners and technicians represent the future reconstruction of Rwanda. The government encourages the courses to continue the modernization of the country. A grant of $9 million from the AFDB has funded educational material, facilities and classes.
it is going to produce the students the employees who are capable, who have the knowledge to go and contribute to the development of the country.
There's another area of expertise that's being developed within the framework of the strategic plan of the country: information and communication technology. In downtown Kigali, the Carnegie Mellon University, or CMU, is home to one of 5 African centres of excellence in the ICT field. On the top floor, this business startup, called the Key Lab, aims to strengthen ties between the university courses and industry. Meanwhile, a future campus is under construction and will be completed in 2016, with funding of nearly $15 million from the AFDB.
So the partnership of ADB is very key into this program, because as you know, yes, we can have great brands, we can have everything, but also we need the infrastructures to support the university.
Thanks to a grant awarded under the program, Rafiki is one of the first group of students to attend the Masters in Information and Communication Technology course, which began in 2012. He runs a company and has been able to profit from his studies.
After taking courses at CMU, we have changed the business model. Now we develop solutions and we go present them to our client.
According to Rafiki, it will soon no longer be necessary to turn to India, Europe or the United States to develop digital solutions.
So we'll be boosting the ICT sector in this region, and economically we can be a hub of ICT, not only in Africa, maybe also in the world.
With its regional focus, the program welcomes students from East Africa, such as Lynn from Uganda. She would like the scholarships made available to other countries.
What I would like to see is more people partnering with CMU because of the fees. The fees are a bit much for Africans outside Rwanda, because Rwanda offers a scholarship for Rwandese and then a 50% for the rest of us. So if more people came together and partnered with what CMU is doing here in Africa, then a lot more students would have an opportunity to get this kind of quality education.
When the centre is completed, nearly 1,200 high-level jobs will be created in information and communication technology, a sector expected to accelerate the growth in Rwanda by improving its competitiveness and with a direct impact on poverty.
Well, it's now time to reward our loyal viewers of Business Africa. It's up to you to answer to the following questions. If you are drawn among those who have given the correct answers, you will win $150. This is game number 576, so listen carefully to the 2 questions that follow, and good luck. First question, how many tons of organic pineapple are produced per year in Togo? 12,000, 16,000, 25,000. Second question, how many customers does Marie Hujo Waiter, seller of medicinal plants, receive per day? More than 15, more than 150, more than 220. You know the answers. You can participate now by going to our website africaonair.com in the replay section. Answer the questions, fill out your form, and good luck. And of course, don't forget to include your contact details, name, address, telephone, email, and the number of the game you are entering with the answers, of course. This game, for example, is game number 576. Check out the terms and conditions in the replay section on our news website, africaonair.com. The winner will receive $150 as our winner this week. Congratulations! You gave the correct answers to our game number 575. Here are the details. First question, when did Yvette Ishimwe create her company? The answer, 2018. Second question, what does the Lower family business produce? Answer, chocolate. Well, that's it. Business Africa is over for today. I'll see you next week, same time, same channel. For Initiative Africa, Marie-Cécile Sinsou, president of the Sinsou Contemporary Art Foundation in Benin, will be our guest. In the meantime, you can watch this show again on our news website, africaonair.com, as well as on all our social media channels. Feel free to share, like, and comment using the hashtag Business Africa. Take care of yourselves and see you next week. Bye-bye.